Hey everyone, Kayley, your friendly neighborhood hairstylist here with Safiya, your friendly makeup scientist.
I was gonna say friendly person.
And today we're gonna be cutting Safiya's hair and answering some questions.
Yeah, I need my hair cut real bad.
So Safiya has recently joined the Raleigh squad of creators.
Yes, the squadron, it's growing.
I'm so glad I started something. You said that you got a trim recently, but you feel like you want more of a change.
Yeah, I got it trimmed in December. I got it trimmed in December, but I feel like it has since become a curtain again, like just like a long line of hair. And I'm ready for just, you know, a little, certainly off the ends, and then maybe a little bit of layering happening.
I like that.
Whatever that is.
Yes. So when I told you, I was like, absolutely, I will cut your hair, I made a Pinterest board with a few different looks.
A quick Pinterest board was whipped up.
Because I wasn't quite sure. I was like, okay, I've seen blunt bob Safiya. I could see you being a blunt cut, kind of batty, lob, but we ended up going with something that's long and layered. You liked a picture of Rachel Green.
Yeah.
And then another one that was a similar cut. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. One of the things that Safiya was telling me, and you guys just now, is that it just feels heavy and just kind of there. Mm-hmm. So one of the ways that we're going to work on that is to remove some of the length, because the length, I asked her and she said that the length does contribute to that there feeling for her. And yeah, we're gonna go with some rounded layers to make that happen. That's what Rachel Green has going on there. It's a little bit of an older layering trend, but I've seen it coming back a lot lately, especially with curtain bangs and stuff. So I'm kind of excited to get to pull that out.
I don't know what you're saying, but I'm into it.
It's okay. I will explain a little bit as we go so that you know what to ask your stylist for. All right, that being said, I think let's cape you up and get started.
Give me the cape.
Oh, actually, I probably want to wet your hair too.
Cape first, wet later.
Yes, ma'am.
I've become very demanding suddenly. I must be caped. I'll just steal this. It'll become my rain poncho. And Kayley never saw me again.
That's all. Didn't want a haircut, just the poncho. I love your natural little wave here too, and I'm kind of excited for some of the short pieces to pull that out.
It's because I'm finally in a place that is not a literal desert. I'm excited about humidity.
I'm gonna check in with you in July. So the first thing I'm gonna do, like any good hairstylist would, is choose section. And off camera, we agreed on kind of over boob. Is that okay to say?
I feel like that's a technical term.
Yes, it is.
Over boob.
I did this little test where I run my comb through with the fine side, and then when it meets resistance is typically where damage is. That mostly works when your hair has been straightened and everything. If you have curly hair, that trick does not work. So if we were just doing damage, we would be cutting off this much, but because we've decided on a length, we'll be going around here-ish. So we posted a little selfie on Instagram and asked for some questions, and Anna Laura has been preparing some. So let's hear what the people want to know.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
I'm scared.
All right, how did you first become friends?
You posted on Twitter asking for somebody to do 80s hair, and I slid into your DMs and I was like, pick me!
I was about to say slid into DMs.
Actually, I think this is probably gonna be a little better. You have the cape on now, so I don't totally know where over boob is.
Yeah, I'm also wearing a sports bra, so I'm not helping you out there. This is nip.
Okay, thanks.
So just, you can just base it off of that.
I'm a professional hairstylist.
This is a nip line. Just decide from there. I trust your opinion.
Okay, I kind of like
that.
I like this length.
Great.
We're doing that. Thanks.
We're doing it.
Thank you for that help.
All right, a little part 2 to that is how long have you guys known each other?
Ooh.
That was late 2017.
Yes.
So going on 4 years.
Hey.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
That is pretty cool.
I can't believe that. It does not feel like 4 years.
On YouTube though, time is an illusion.
Yes.
A month feels like a year, but a year feels like one day.
That is the best way to describe it. Agreed. Co-signed.
What is your favorite go-to late night snack?
Favorite late night snack?
I hear you.
Or we could just do snack, or if you're not a late night snacker.
Oh,
Or
you
snack.
exist for late night.
Yeah, I exist in the evening. I feel like usually if I'm up late night, it has to be things that will not make me immediately go to sleep, because I'm usually trying to sustain energy. This is so boring and lame. I usually go for protein bars or nuts.
That's
cashews,
amazing.
almonds.
I just love it because you are really committed to the marathon at that point.
My go-to cheat meal is I just want pizza. But that will put me to sleep because I've reached the time in my life where carbs put me to sleep.
Mine's popcorn because if I'm up late, I'm probably binging a show and can't stop.
That is a good one, actually.
Will the tendrils make a comeback?
Haha! Yes.
Yes. Is that from my wedding?
You had it in your K-pop video, and then you did
yeah.
you did want tendrils out for your second style, your half updo, with all the bedazzling. We texted last night. I was like, do you want like Meghan Markle tendrils? Because I feel like that would really work for you. And you said yes, and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So, yes, the tendrils are making a comeback today.
This is the one I laughed out loud at. Is this your girlfriend?
I mean,
I really want to milk this, but no, she's not.
Tyler from the other room goes, wait, what?
Oh, my girlfriend would be like, excuse me.
I feel like she could beat me up, so I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I feel like she could. She's small, but she's scrappy.
Yeah, I at least don't want to find out. So, I'll say no.
No. Give a quick verbal brow tutorial. You both always have rockin' eyebrows.
Oh my god, that's a really high compliment, but also I'm terrified to give a 30-second tutorial.
Oh my gosh. Okay, going as fast as I can. I've got like a 15-second TikTok and scene. Okay, I use a tinted brow soap and I brush all my hairs up and away from the direction that they grow to try to get them fluffy. Then I tame them just enough. I take a tiny little brow pin that has a little hair-like stroke making abilities, and I make little hairlines wherever I'm missing them, and that's my eyebrows. All right, what about you?
I feel like I've gone through such a journey with my eyebrows. I used to just beat them into submission, basically, and there used to be probably like half this like width, and also like start further out. Then I went on a eyebrow growing journey where everyone then made fun of my eyebrows because I didn't know how to do them, and I was like letting them grow in.
This is my story as well.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm trying to like let them live for the first time ever. But now I get them waxed sometimes, and then today I just drew basically in like them in with just a pencil. It's less about the daily routine and more about like
growth.
Yeah, I was like the spiritual routine of just like letting them have some space, some time.
I actually like the idea of it as like a spiritual routine because it takes restraint.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to shift your mindset from like reducing them to just like letting them be.
As we should do with ourselves. Okay, that's been fun.
What is your worst haircut story other than the great curtain bang fiasco of 2020?
My biggest hair fiasco was when I was 7 years old. I decided that I wanted to cut my hair, and I wanted it to make a V in the back. Like, not just like a casual little V. Like, I wanted a V.
Avant-garde.
Yes. I was quite
Avant-garde.
the little fashion maker. So I cut the hair, I got scared and bundled it up with rubber bands and threw it in a crayon box and hoped no one would notice. People noticed immediately. We lived in the middle of nowhere, and I was taken to like the only salon in this town, whatever, and I was given a mullet.
It's funny that your worst haircut story is when you cut your own hair at 7, and mine's when I did the exact same thing at 26 years old.
I remember that video. I remember that.
But at the same time, like, I wasn't like panicked. I was just like, oh, I did a pretty bad job.
I remember watching that video, and I literally almost stopped watching to film my reaction because I was losing my mind. Yeah, I was like, Safiya, you can't do that.
It was just for entertainment purposes.
It was, and it was entertaining.
There you go.
And I went on a journey with you.
What was your favorite part of Saf's wedding?
Okay, one of my very favorite things were your vows. They were so beautiful. I laughed, I cried. I was like, this is what happens when two people who are really great at creating make vows for each other. But they were just so good.
Oh, thank you.
And then like very close second was your dad's Beatles cover for you. That was the sweetest thing, and I was lucky enough to be at the table right next to it happening, and I just like swooned.
He's so old and weird and funny.
He's so peculiar, and I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I don't know what my favorite part was. It was kind of like anyone who has like had a wedding would probably agree. It just sort of is like, it just happens and you're like, ah, yeah, like the whole time. But I had fun. Once we performed the Addams Family Tango, then afterwards when I had like nothing else to like do, I think that was fun. It's funny because like neither Tyler nor I are dancers really at all, but we were just like, what if we just did this?
I loved it. I mean, you bring that spirit to lipstick. Why not a wedding dance? Like, what if we just did this?
Saf, what shampoo and conditioner do you use?
I actually change it up a lot, and also Tyler uses everything that I buy, so I just go through things really fast. But the one that I have liked a lot recently is the Briogeo like kale one, the one that's green.
Yeah, it's apple and matcha.
There's no kale in it.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay,
it
is green.
I think I said kale because it's green.
Yes.
The green one.
Can I also say that this is a favorite of mine?
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
Look at this.
I would say that's your most used.
Yeah, it is.
The conditioner especially has a little bit of X factor for me. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, because
ooh,
it's like just the right amount of like slipperiness and conditioning without being like.
Yeah.
Shampoo and conditioner, I'm constantly trying out new ones. It's part of the job. That is one of my very favorites. Another one, the Viore shampoo and conditioner bars have been a big favorite. These are like rice based and they're very, very good.
Oh, you've been on like a rice water journey.
Yeah. Yeah, welcome to the last 3 months of my life. I am rice now.
What is the biggest change living in NC? We'll say specifically like versus LA.
The first thing that I noticed was traffic.
Oh my God. Yeah, relatable.
It takes half the time to get anywhere. But also you drive so far in that amount of time. Like it was the amount of ground that I covered that was surprising for me. Like, whoa, I just drove 5 miles in 10 minutes. Like, what is this? Because that gets you from like Santa Monica to
literally Santa Monica.
Well, yeah. It took me a good like 6 months to not be like, whoa, every time I went to drive.
My answer would be similar to that. One of the things I like the most is how, even if things aren't literally close to each other, how close everything feels and how easy it is to like drive like across the city.
Yeah.
Because as you intimated, like if you were to go at the wrong time, to drive across LA could take like 3 hours. Easily. Driving across Raleigh takes like 20 minutes. Probably.
Easily.
Like,
I mean,
from like the furthest points.
Girl, in 3 hours you can get to the mountains.
Exactly.
Like,
it is somewhat life-changing.
Who is your favorite YouTuber other than each other, obviously?
I don't know, because it's hard to say because it's like, who am I watching right now? All time? Best buds? Like,
that's
I don't
true.
know.
Those are all different categories. Let's do like who we're watching right now. Because obviously we have YouTube friends that we know and love.
Yeah.
And they will always be our favorites. I've been getting super into Hiram's videos. And it like birthed this whole like scientific awakening in me. So I love it.
One of my favorite channels that's like outside of the genre of content that I make is Oversimplified.
Ooh, I haven't seen them.
He does videos that are sort of like, I mean, they're historically accurate, so it's not like Drunk History in that it is accurate.
Actually,
but it's kind of like Drunk History in which it's a like comedic representation of historical events that have happened.
I love that.
With like cute and fun animations.
All right, well, what is the hardest thing about being a YouTuber?
I feel like one of the harder things is acquiring content while editing content. It's just like the continuous, while we're doing the next one, while we're like that kind of thing. I'm still even figuring out to this day, like what the best way to acquire content while also editing content is.
I completely understand that because, I mean, honestly, the way I do it is I just like, I do a video a week or whatever. I'm also not as involved in the editing process as you are though. Like Saf touches every part of a video, like physically handles it and puts it where it goes.
Yeah. It's unclear if that's the best decision or not. I hate editing, but I like editing, you know?
I understand that sentiment too, yeah. It's like the best and the worst thing because it can be so cool, but it's also such a brutal beast to like deal with. For me, it's a very like existential situation. I've worked super hard on not fueling myself through other people's validation. I've worked really hard on being enough for myself, and constantly chasing views and likes because it's my job feels like it kind of doesn't vibe with that. And so like finding the balance of that is hard for me.
Yeah. I have found that like when I take too many people's opinions into account, it actually stops me from making content because then I start like just worrying about all these other things when I'm like, I could be making more content or like doing more things or achieving more things if I weren't like so worried about these things. But like part of like being a digital creator is like the audience tells you things and they say things to you and you're like, you know, so it's a tough balance.
It's finding like your authenticity and standing in it and not being able to be like bullied out of it or just even gently nudged out of it. Yeah.
All right, what is your favorite collab that you've ever done?
What's our favorite collab we've done together?
The Decades hair was really fun.
I mean, yeah. Which one of the Decades hair though?
I liked when you put a mustache on Tyler for the 60s video.
That was great.
Any of those Decades videos that we did in 2017 where you did Tyler's hair also, I think
the flock of seagulls.
Yeah, any of Tyler's hairdos were really epic.
I think my favorite one was the 80s because I got to play around so much and there were so many hair pieces involved to give her the right haircut for it. It was so fun.
The like glam metal hair was really awesome.
That was great.
Yeah, those were probably the most like fun.
Yeah.
All right, well, that goes into this question. Are there any future collabs in the works?
Right now, we're filming it.
I know, I'm like, yeah, this is a good one for now, I think. Let's let Saf get in and get settled. But I mean, I'm always down for hair. I'm always down to make something magical.
Yes. I don't know what it is right now, but yes.
Yeah.
The
Same.
answer is yes.
Same. The answer is yes.
Advice for a 20-something who has no clue what they're doing.
From a 30-something that has no clue what they're doing.
Here's some advice. Make some short-term goals that are achievable and do them. Be like, I want to move into a new apartment next year or something like that, and just like do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't make your immediate goals so lofty that they will never happen. Do some things that you can do, get those under your belt, and then you can feel like more confident and empowered to do bigger things.
Give yourself an easy win.
Exactly.
Okay, 2 things. 20s are a good time to start investing and saving.
All right.
So just get into that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not, so I'm gonna say that you should. I think 20s are all about like figuring yourself out. So just give yourself permission to try things and them not work and enjoy the journey.
If you were a scent, what smell would you be?
Ooh.
For some reason, I thought you meant a penny. I was like, listening. If I were a coin, what would I be?
I'd be a solidly 1962.
Yeah, I'd be one that's like kind of green at the edge. Someone threw me into a pond, turned
I would
green.
like to be a lucky penny.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. Let's see. If I had to be a fragrance, I don't know. Like the fragrances that I go for are very like citrusy.
Oh, I see that.
And maybe a tiny bit of like muskiness.
I see citrusy.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy scent.
Aw, thank you.
I like it. I feel like, and this also vibes with like the kind of candles I like. I like sort of woody, campfirey smells. Yeah, something like that. I do also like watery smells as well.
Ooh. All right, sorry, I'm just playing around a lot with the layers trying to get them right. This is just the messing around, getting everything where it's supposed to go.
Do what you do.
Letting your hair just tell me what it wants.
Yeah, tinker away.
Tinker, I shall.
I am also a notorious tinkerer.
My girlfriend, I cut her hair once in quarantine and I would not stop following her around like, hold on,
Wait.
hold on.
Wait.
Wait, hold on. Hold there, I need scissors. And she was like, I can't. She's
Stop.
like, I want to eat pizza. The key. We're getting so close now. I'm just gonna style it and we'll see how it looks. I have styled it 2 different ways so that Saf can tell me which one she likes. It's a very good first draft, but I want to see if Saf feels like we want some more layers or anything like that.
Oh, wow. You did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
It looks great. I think both sides look good, and I
Okay.
don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
This one's kind of fun, this
Okay,
side.
you like this side? I
Yeah.
like this side too. And that one's kind of similar to the haircut picture that we liked. So.
Yeah. I mean, they both look great.
Yeah.
I kind of like this side. I can't tell you if I think there should be more layers.
Okay.
Maybe just do it.
Okay. Okay. Let's
love
just
it.
do
I
it.
want you to throw the caution to the wind.
I'm doing it.
Ah!
We are all styled the same on both sides. I went for some more layers. How about we take a look?
Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks great. I think you did a great job, and both with the cut and also with the rollers.
Yay, I'm glad you like it.
It looks really good.
All right, let's take this off.
Whoa! My neck is free!
I had Saf do a quick change so you can see the hair.
Yeah, see, oh my god, look at me in blue. Whoa!
And that is the haircut. I like it a lot for you. I think that like even with letting it air dry, maybe like scrunching it and letting the North Carolina humidity bring out your waves a little bit, I think it'll even be good for like wash and go. I really like it.
No, I think you did an amazing job.
Yay!
Yeah, thank you for cutting my hair. I really needed it.
Now you've got like all the movement and body. So we wanted to get rid of curtain, we got rid of curtain. We even gave like a slight nod to a curtain bang with the tendrils. Now you can just have your little pony moments.
Yeah, I think it'll be cute.
That'll be really cute. Yeah, and then whenever you get tired of them, they'll tuck behind your ears really easily. And this is like a fun amount of layering, and if it feels like, next time you're like, oh, maybe not so much with the layers, that's really easy to do. We'll like work on your length and just trim the layers.
I don't see that for myself.
Okay.
But
For you in the audience, if you get layers that are too much, you grow them out, and then you leave them where they are and you bring the length up, and then it all works. All right, yay, I'm so glad that you like it. Guys, if you want to ask for similar things, I obviously said rounded layers. A lot of hairstylists will know, but essentially what that means is that you cut your baseline and then you pull the hair straight out from the head and you create a circle around as you go. I pulled this section out, cut it this way, pulled this section out, cut it this way, pulled this section up, cut it this way. So it makes a little bubble. It's slightly oval because I left a lot of weight on the bottom, so I didn't layer all of the hair, which is like the traditional way to do it. Taking some pictures, point out what you like. You're doing a great job.
I'm posing, I'm like, take the screenshot now. Screenshot me like one of your French girls.
But yeah, just generally rounded layers. Tell them, you know, talk about long layers. Talk about if there's like no shorter than this with the layers, you can talk about that. I just say, like, don't try to speak hairstylist, just try to tell them what you want. And then ask them to repeat what they heard back to you. That way, you have a good consultation. I feel like we're good here. Thank you for letting me film this and answering the questions.
Yeah,
this
for sure.
Very, very fun. And putting on a blue shirt for me. You were such a champion.
That was the biggest favor I did you.
Truly. All right, but I think that is it for today. If you guys are not following Safiya, what the heck are you doing? You can see here over on Safiya Nygaard on YouTube, you just launched a live stream YouTube channel as well.
That is true. Yes, we're gonna be live streaming every Tuesday at 5 from our new like second live streaming channel.
Tuesdays at 5 at Safiya and Tyler. Also, you're working on some TikToks and stuff?
I have posted one TikTok.
Okay.
If you're interested in whatever TikToks that may come.
Yes.
That exists too.
Ready to buckle in for my long outro?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to hit that like button to help support my channel and, you know, to let me know that you like Safiya's new haircut. If you're new here, you can hit the subscribe button to join the Braidaholic family here on Kayley Melissa, and all y'all can hit that bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. But that's it for today. Whether you're old or new or a casual lurker, thank you for spending time with us, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye! Are you done yet? Can you stop? We had emotions and we turtled.
One negative about using my hair for content is it's just blending into the cape. I'm like, yeah, it looks good. I don't know.
My name is Safiya and I only wear black. I don't know what to tell you.
It's my brand.